5, 4, 3. All right. Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking in to this 100th dose of the Healthcare Uprising. Our first ever with a live studio audience. Give yourself a hand.
Hey, there we go.
See that? First time we've ever done that.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out.
It's our 100th episode. There's a lot more to say about it, but first, let's do our standard. What's on our agenda for today, Heather?
What is on our agenda today? So, yeah, guys, we're live not in a studio, in an event space. Thank you to the Market of Dreams for hosting us.
4th Street in Flagstaff.
Yep, incredible community space here in Flagstaff, so very happy to be here. So, yeah, 18 months. Okay, so for those of you who don't know the history of this, I actually came up with the idea for this podcast like 3 years ago, and Jeremy had picked up my son because he Ubers, and he came to my house and was hanging out on my front deck. I might have been having a few drinks.
Which is why I picked up your kid.
Exactly. I was being responsible, and I was like, hey, Jeremy, I've had this idea for this podcast for a long time, but I don't know how to get it off the ground. And he had a podcast called Monster Lore. He still does. Still do.
Almost to 100 episodes on that as well.
Yeah, and that was September of 2023, 24.
It's been a long,
yes.
23 when we had the ideation.
That's right, the conversation. And then, anyway, I got laid off like a year later, and I said, Jeremy, I'm ready. And so that's what we did while I was laid off.
15 months from ideation to launch,
yeah,
which is exactly what Monster Lore Tour took.
Right.
So if you're wondering how long it takes to start your first podcast from idea to actually putting it out properly,
a long time.
15 months.
Yeah.
The next ones we're doing are taking like 2 or 3, so now we know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. So anyway, we
do you
finally...
want some stats on how we got to the 100 here?
Well, hold on,
okay, well,
Jeremy.
I'm not jumping the gun.
He's always jumping ahead. Anyway, so we finally started recording because we wanted to have 3 months of episodes, which is basically 12, because we were deciding to drop 1 episode per week. And so then we launched January 14th?
January 13th. Of 2025.
Right.
Because ideation was September of 23.
That's right. So, and then 18 months later, and 1 day. 18
months and a day later, this episode will air.
Yeah. So
we're recording a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will actually show officially as episode 79. But we have 16 bonus episodes and 5 Your Vote, Your Health episodes, which is our new kind of political candidate.
I will talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
So if you add that all up, 79, 16, and 5, this is our 100th episode right here. So that's how we got to that.
Yeah.
In 18 months, which is really fast for a podcast to get to 100 episodes.
And most podcasts die, actually. Most of them are actually unsuccessful. I've got some stats. You guys want to hear some stats? About how we are awesome?
If you're going to tell me I'm awesome, I'll listen to that all day.
Jeremy is awesome. About 90% of podcasts suffer pod fade. P.S. Guess what? I got another stat for you. Hitting 100 downloads per episode puts a show in the top 25% of podcasts. Hitting 500 downloads per episode is your top 10%. We're somewhere in between there. So we're doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, over time, yeah.
We get about 1,200 downloads per month right now. So that actually puts us in a pretty good spot.
We actually just spiked again. June, we broke 5,000 downloads in 1 month for the first time ever.
We did. Yeah.
That's where you can actually start making money with a podcast.
Yeah. So if you want to give us money.
Not a lot, but it'll pay its own bills. A podcast, if you can maintain 5,000 a month, it'll pay its own bills.
So we're working on it, and that's good for everybody that comes on the show because it's a platform for you to promote your business and all the work that you all do. So we're going to bring back some of our guests tonight.
Yeah, local Flagstaffers, whole bunch, and we've got nine guests tonight. We're going to try to roll through.
Yeah, but really quickly before I stop talking, just to, again, for anyone who hasn't listened to us before, or even you all sitting here in the audience, a lot of the things we've actually been categorized as an alternative health podcast, which makes me really happy.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Apple says we're alternative. So that's really cool. because I don't like to be normal. So
Yeah.
alternative is way better.
I've definitely fit in that category most of my life.
You're weird.
I don't even have
I like
shoes
you,
on.
Jeremy, but you're weird.
That's how this podcast succeeds.
It's
If I
true.
wasn't this kind of crazy, we wouldn't be here.
We are very yin and yang, so it works out. But a lot of the topics that we cover on the show are psychedelics, for mental health, PTSD. We've got Dr. Casey here tonight who's going to talk about that. We cover women's health extensively. I think
Extensively.
like 60 to 65% of our shows are actually on women's health.
Between the menopause playlist on YouTube and the fertility, pregnancy, and birthing playlist, we have a lot of stuff for the women, yes.
Yeah. Yep. And then just generally alternative approaches to health and wellness.
Yeah.
Or, breath work and Reiki and all those cool, hippy dippy things. I don't think it's hippy dippy. I think it's cool and we should all do more of it. Jake, you should do more of that. My husband.
I'm going to get him on yoga.
We're going to
at
get
some
him to a breathwork class. It's going to happen.
He's shaking his head at us.
But just like, health tech in general, like there's a lot of stuff out there, you guys, that's happening. There's really smart people that are building apps and technology that's going to help us all in how we manage our healthcare, access, all the good things.
That's a big part of the podcast.
It's a lot of people like me who have left big insurers that were amazing and smart and decided they wanted to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
There you
So
go.
we like to give them a platform.
There you go.
Sorry, but big insurers will never be invited to this show. Just FYI.
That's why it's called an uprising. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, all of this is going to continue, but we're going to keep bringing some old guests back on. We've been doing some recaps with some, because in the startup world especially, a lot of things change really, really quickly. And so, anyway, we're going to bring some of them back.
Just had Endo 45 back on for a yearly checkup. That was a good episode.
We
that just came out
did.
last week before
Yep.
this recording, I think.
And more doctors. I'm getting more like influencer doctors from that actually, not like bad influencer ones, right? Like good doctors that are like focused in like evidence-based medicine and fact and science and things like that. We like science and facts.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
I also like alternative health, but I also like facts and science. So, we've
Mushroom
got
says medicine is a fact.
mushrooms. Yes, it is. So we've got a lot of doctors that we're bringing on, more human stories and round tables.
Yes, we're going to try to focus more on some roundtables this coming season.
So that's like where we bring people back that have done like a one-on-one episode with us.
I've got one in mind for Mark right there.
Yep.
We're going to pitch later.
Dr. Casey has already participated in our first round table.
Yep,
So, he's our
we got
most repeat guest here.
we got Rose now in the back over
Yep,
there. She
yep.
was on the menopause roundtable with you. That's like our second
Yep.
most downloaded episode ever.
Yeah.
You're like a
We are-
celebrity.
We are hilarious. And then the latest one that he mentioned, we launched the Your Vote, Your Health series a couple of months ago. It was a little slow to get started. It's hard to nail down people running for political positions because they like work full time, they have families, they're like running all over God's green earth to show up at, town halls and stuff.
They make us record at like 7 o'clock at night and stuff.
Yeah, they do, because they're busy. But we have a bunch of people coming on from like different states all over the country, so like not just Arizona. So
We had a guy from Utah. We're getting a guy from Alabama.
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really going to pick up with the midterms coming up in November.
We do have a lot of more local Arizona candidates too for all the people in the room.
We do.
So.
Yeah, Arizona's list, if you're not familiar with them, they promote women, Democratic women who are pro-life also,
Yeah.
who are running. That's important to me. And so they're coming on. I have a partnership with the executive director of Arizona List to feed me candidates. So, just got to get more of them. They're just hard to nail down.
Kara House from Flagstaff City Council will have an episode dropping on the 4th of July.
Yeah, she's coming out this Friday.
'Cause
So,
those come out on Saturday.
or Saturday, sorry.
Bonuses, main episodes on Tuesday, bonuses on Friday, Your Vote, Your Health on Saturday.
Yep. And then the last thing I want to mention, more live events. Dr. Lori Perrin, who is going to be joining us up here on the mic tonight, we did an amazing event back in May where we did a private screening of M Factor, which is a menopause documentary. We had an amazing audience, an amazing panel.
Yeah, there were like 200 people in that room.
Yeah, no, close.
Something like that, right?
It was a lot. It was a
pretty
lot.
full.
It was at the Art Center. We're going to do a second one, M Factor 2, so we're already starting to plan that, I think, for September. Yep.
Cool.
And then we'll do hopefully the third one, which is the pink pill, which is about libido, and that'll probably be sometime in early 2027, which is crazy to even say 2027, but yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah. So some live events, and also if you're not already familiar with the Menopause Man, he made an appearance at the M Factor event.
And he will be at the other menopause.
He will
events.
be, and we're also going to start bringing Menopause Man to the streets. So
We actually just
be ready,
we need to
Flagstaff.
trademark the logo, which costs $900. There's a donation jar on the table over there,
Feel free
just
to
so
donate.
everybody's fully aware of the situation.
But just picture it. We're going to be on the streets of Flagstaff, maybe Phoenix, maybe Tucson. He's going to be in the Menopause Man costume, and we're going to go up to people randomly on the street, and we're going to ask them questions about menopause and perimenopause. I don't know if anybody follows Roe versus Wade on Instagram, but if you do, kind of similar concept, look it up. It's hilarious. Basically, men know nothing about the women's bodies. Surprise! And so they probably won't either with menopause, so the answers should be absolutely ridiculous. But it also gives us an opportunity to educate, and that's what we like to do here on the Uprising.
That's what it's really all about in the end. All right,
So-
can we get started with our variety show here? I'm getting excited. We got a lot of people to talk to.
Wait, one last thing, guys. New shows in development. Inside the Pit is starting at the end of July. It's me and an ER doctor who happens to be from Australia. Isn't too bad to look at either.
Dr. Adrian
Sorry, honey.
Boyce, he was in a recent episode 74?
I don't
72?
know numbers.
Somewhere
That's
around
you.
there.
Okay. We're recording, but our show is not like a bunch of friends sitting around talking about each episode of the Pit. Instead, it's a healthcare industry, longtime veteran and an actual ER doc, and we are unpacking big themes from each episode and talking about it from a clinical perspective, a fact-based perspective, and so I think that's going to be a different take. So that should be dropping at the end of July.
And I
So,
get to produce a podcast I don't have to host for the first time ever, so that'll be fun too.
yeah. Yep.
But all right,
So that's everything.
let's get going with our panel of guests here. We're going to go in chronological order as they appeared, or pretty much as they appeared on the podcast. But first up, from episodes 3 and 12, we got Dr. Casey from Revitalize Clinic here in Flagstaff.
Come on up.
Give him a hand, everybody.
All right.
You get his microphone.
You got a microphone and everything.
On the chair, center.
Welcome, welcome.
Awesome.
Right. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you in person.
I know.
You had a beard when you were on before. I almost didn't.
did.
I was looking around like, we're missing Dr. Casey. And Heather's like, he's right there. It's like, ooh, he's shaved.
Yeah, especially saving.
I'm a big beard guy. I recognize people by their beards.
Yeah. So
I have a lot more
introduce
beard now.
yourself to everybody quickly and tell us who you are, what you do, and
All right.
then we'll
Yeah.
get into some of the details. We only have 7 to 8 minutes for each person.
All right. My name's Casey Dubravcic. I'm a board-certified psychiatric provider. I work in interventional psychiatry. And so that means I'm hopeful to see people less over time. Most of modern medicine, particularly psychiatry, has very much been a potentiated illness model for some time. Kind of a pill for every problem, very much suppressing symptomology. So you think of mood super basically as a waveform, right? Depression, anhedonia, kind of I don't cares down here. Anxiety, hypervigilance, that more pucker state up here. People with trauma often bounce back and forth a lot quicker between those two. And so pretty much every medication class that I prescribed ever, SSRIs, SNRIs, mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, benzodiazepines, hypnotics, all like 10 to 30% effective long term, and just making people less everything, and oftentimes causing quite a bit of side effects, sexual side effects, weight gain, other issues. And so my big thing is that everything comes from trauma. Everything's a coping strategy for that trauma, and trauma's super subjective. And so we have the 3 clinics. We have Flagstaff, Sedona, and Prescott Valley. I also have the 2 wellness bars. So that's Revitalize, Optimize, and Harmonize Clinic and Therapeutics. So again, my objective is to see people a lot less over time. I want to help people get better enough that they're able to send other people in instead. So I'm trying to work myself out of a job. I love what I get to do.
Well, you fall into our psychedelics category that we've covered
totally.
extensively. And actually, it was interesting because when we started the show, that was not my intent. It just so happened that I got introduced to Anthea, who
Episode 1.
episode 1. And anyway, next thing I know, you're on the show, and we're talking about ketamine for PTSD and mental health and all this stuff. And then we brought him back for a roundtable with a number of other people, and then it just kind of like catapulted us into this conversation that has not stopped. And we've talked extensively about psilocybin treatments, which I know you don't do, but the ketamine keeps coming up.
Yeah.
So can you maybe tell everybody here that you're not familiar what ketamine treatment is for,
Sure.
and maybe how it helps people?
Yeah, so ketamine's been around since the 1960s. It's on the World Health Organization's list of essential medications as an anesthetic. It's the best well-tolerated anesthetic in both large animals and children. And so we're giving a lot lower dosing than anesthetic dosing. And it's in that same family of ego-dissolution agents. Ego is what we build to protect ourselves. So ego is depression, anxiety, being a jerk, putting on pants, go to the bathroom. And so it falls right in with psilocybin, ayahuasca, ibogaine, MDMA, in that we're getting out of our own way, and it helps people create that safety. So feel safe to feel safe, and feel safe to feel unsafe, so that you can address that trauma. And so my big kind of shtick is 3 parts: name it to tame it, validate that trauma. 2, feel it to heal it, and that's what ego dissolution agents and psychedelics can really make move fast. And then, most importantly for the neuroplasticity, reframe it to reclaim it. So taking that this happened to me and turning it into this happened for me.
Okay.
There you go. And you said you have, so you got the ketamine clinic on University here. You got the Rock
On Milton.
on
The University
the Rock is on
Ketamine
Milton.
Clinic is on University.
Oh, it is on University.
And
Okay.
the
You got
wellness
Rocked
bar.
on Milton. Do you have?
Yep.
You said you had a second one of those, no?
Yes, so there's another Rocked attached to our Prescott Valley clinic, and then we
Oh, there
have
you
a
go.
revitalized clinic in Sedona. So our
So
revitalized
you're all
clinics,
over northern Arizona now.
yeah, we do take insurance, and we do the TMS, the transcranial
Oh, yeah, there's
magnetic
that too.
stimulation too, which is
Oh,
really
yeah.
great at promoting neuroplasticity.
There's the
And
reason you're coming back on later. We should do a full episode. on
TMS
that
is
at some
super
point.
cool.
I would
Yeah.
love to
All right,
talk
we're going to
about
bring
that. I've
Dr.
done some
Casey
reading
back
that.
on.
Yeah. They're
think-
neuroplastogens.
Yeah.
So that's another way of thinking of psychedelics. Neuroplastogens.
Yeah.
Ketamine infusions, 2 to 3 minutes, you have new dendrites forming on a functional MRI. You're literally changing
Literally
your brain.
It's
Rewires the
absolutely
brain.
fascinating, you guys. You
Wonderful.
should listen to all of our episodes on it. Jake, my husband, who's in the audience, you will be up here. He was on ketamine for surgery of
We'll talk about
We'll talk
that.
to that later.
That was
his
wild.
ketamine trip was a little bit different than what happens when people sit in your office, but
But all right, thank you, Dr. Casey.
there it is.
Appreciate you coming up.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Everybody give him a hand.
Go see Dr. Casey at Revitalized Clinic and Rocked Bar.
All right, so next up we have Gabby returning from bonus episode 5.
Yep. Gabby's
This is
Spiguzza.
Heather's cousin, Gabby.
It is. Welcome back. So, speaking of mental health and PTSD,
Yeah, that flows together
it
nicely,
does flow
actually.
very nicely. It's a common thread. We cover it in a few different ways, actually, even just tonight. So, Gabby, my lovely cousin, who I love, she also took me to see a concert last weekend. Was it last weekend?
Last weekend,
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What'd you see?
Motley Crue.
Yachtly Crew.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a good time. Get out there, see music, guys. It's good for your mental health. So, Gabby, tell us a little bit about your story very briefly, because we only have 7-8 minutes, and Charlie's going to tell me. And then kind of how you're doing and, you know, what's happening in your life.
Last time I was on here, we talked about my PTSD, but also my father's PTSD and how they kind of affected each other. Right now, I am in the middle of training to rerun the Downtown Mile. We talked about that, I think, the last time. I was a little disappointed in my time, so I've been spending the past, I don't know, since like February, every day, like getting myself better, working out more, eating healthier, and just getting ready to run that race on the 4th. We're approaching 10 years.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
So we're approaching 10 years with that loss this year. So it's more of like a validating run rather than just something that
Yeah,
takes away from the whole situation.
yeah. Put a positive turn to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you had quite a story. You had a lot of loss in your family, like
I did. Yeah.
repeatedly in a very short period of time. Your story left a mark on me. I'm not going to lie. That was a hard.
The human stories always do.
Yeah.
They're hard not to cry. Seriously,
bonus
like it's hard
episodes.
not to cry when we do the human stories episodes because most of them aren't great, unfortunately. So what else is happening in your life? How are you coping? Like, are there new things that you're doing other than running at the downtown? But like, awesome that you're doing that.
Realistically, I've just been looking more into myself and my own physical, mental. I'm eating better, drinking more water, at least trying to. But it's also looking at like the brighter side of things, not overthinking everything, even though I still do it. Everyone does for a little bit, but just trying to really embrace who I am as a person, but also just being able to live each day just by the day instead of like, oh, in 4 days I have to do this.
Right.
And like today is just today.
And if we didn't say it, Gabby has your diagnosis was, I'm make sure I said complex PTSD. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you on any meds for that now?
No.
Good for you.
Good for
You're
you.
off of that. That's awesome. Can I also mention, too, she has an amazing boyfriend. Hi, Nick. Nick's in the audience. I like to believe that Nick's a big part of your joy in life. No pressure.
I would say so. I feel like I was the type of person like I'm never going to be in a relationship ever. I am me. I am by myself. I've always been like it's me. Independent woman. I don't need a man. And then all of a sudden, I got this message, and he was just meet me downtown at 6. I was like, whatever. And now we live together.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Pierces approve.
Yeah.
Just because you don't need a man doesn't mean you can't want a man.
True.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, like, everybody tells you, just wait, they're going to show up at your front door and you're not even going to believe it. And that was,
When you're least expecting it.
yeah.
When you were going through the really rough parts, though, did you ever feel like you weren't going to come out on the other side and it just felt like you were just going to be stuck?
I do feel like that in the very beginning. When the death did happen, I was 20, or it was like 2 weeks for my 20th birthday. So once I actually turned 21 and you hit the bars, that's what you're reaching for. You're reaching for like the alcohol or something to get your mind off of it.
Right.
And I do feel like I spent a lot of my early 20s partying and like doing my own thing that wasn't always the healthiest. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is the best for me, but it's just what I did to help cope.
But you feel good now?
I do.
Yeah. And she's got a new job. She works for FUSD. So thank you, educators.
Oh, right on. Very cool.
You're going to be the librarian at Puente?
I am.
How cool is that?
Oh, librarian even. Very nice. I'm a bibliophile myself. So
you know what you
appreciate
need?
that.
You need glasses with a chain, and I call them head jewelry. I'm not wearing them tonight, so that you can
You
take
got to
them.
put the hair up in a bun, too. You need a bun.
We did talk about that.
There's a whole look. All right. Well, our time is about up here with Gabby. Gabby, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Yeah.
I'm really glad to see you progressing positively
Yeah.
and still not on meds and still feeling better. and
Amazing.
building a life, got yourself a boyfriend or everything, and opening yourself
Yeah,
up
Nick.
emotionally like that. Anyone who's heard Gabby's story, that's an impressive thing to overcome what she has and to emotionally open yourself to the world again like
Yeah.
that. It's very impressive.
And thank you for being so vulnerable with all of us here. I know that's not easy, and being on the show and telling your story, so I know that was difficult. So thank you for being a part of that.
No, thank you. And everybody in this room, majority of everybody in this room already knows my story, so it makes it a little bit easier.
There's a lot of friends here.
There is a lot of friends
Yeah.
and family in this room.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
go
you.
ahead for Gabby, everybody.
Hey, Gabby. All right, I think our next one is Sabrina.
I have Katherine Romero
Okay.
from episode 32, Holistic Psychology
And this is why
Reiki.
he's the producer. I am the annoying talent.
I never said annoying,
I did.
as far as you know.
Endearing, charming, all the above.
Totally.
But yeah, Katherine's returning from episode 32. This is another one I really liked because you're blending psychology and energy work like Reiki and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's exciting. So I think it's been about a year since I've been on, give or take. And
Has it been that long?
Yeah, episode 32.
flies
This
when
is
you're having
episode
fun.
100. It's been 68 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
For us, that's about a year.
Congratulations,
Okay.
you guys, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, so my approach to healing our mental health is more this integrated and holistic stance. So I do bring in some of the energy medicine like Reiki, breath work. I know we're all a fan of breath work on this podcast. And I also bring in other things like somatics and what I'm kind of classifying as transpersonal states of consciousness. So beyond just our cognitive kind of conscious awareness, what are those things that we deal with that live in that kind of altered state of consciousness? So it can be things like ancestral healing. That's where some of the energy medicine lives. It can also be things like psychedelics and what isn't our ego structures allowing us to look at because it doesn't feel safe, that with something like ketamine or psychedelics or anything else that can put us in that altered state, we can actually access and start to move through it and heal it. So
Very cool.
And I have to say, too, now, we're not covering breath work extensively tonight. I do love that you include that, but I've done breath work, with liquid breath work with Ryan and Shelby, who actually came on the show. Jeremy goes, Christina.
Probably about the same time you were on. It was last year.
Right there, she goes, too. Highly, highly recommend. I've never done psychedelics. I've never done that sort of thing before. But breath work literally takes me to another plane. It is one of the most amazing things I have ever incorporated into my life. So I'm so glad that you use that as well.
It is the closest I've probably ever come to a psychedelic experience without doing psychedelics is through meditation and breath work.
It is, yeah, it's meditative. So that's
what the
interesting.
research supports too. Like
100%.
if you're like, oh,
Creates the
ketamine, I
same
don't know
mind
about
state,
that.
yeah.
Breath work is a really great step into that, and to get into an altered state of consciousness without the something like ketamine or ayahuasca or something like that. That
Right.
doesn't feel attainable for you right now.
So, and Catherine's a clinical psychologist. Is that, are you still in training?
Yes, still in training.
Okay.
Still in training to be a clinical psychologist.
Okay.
Yeah, I have about a year and a half left of my training. So
Okay.
we'll hopefully be starting internship here in a couple of months.
Oh, cool.
And hopefully that'll be here in Flagstaff. So
Awesome. That was going to be my next question. If somebody wanted to come see you, they can in the internship part of your program because you're like under the guidance of an actual clinical psychologist. Is that how that works?
So I do see clients as part of my training. I'm in between practicum and internship, but hopefully in the next couple months I'll be seeing clients here, hopefully in Flagstaff. There's a few balls in the air. But for anyone who's interested in learning more about what I do or where to connect with me, just my website, KatherineRomeroTherapy.com.
Awesome.
Cool.
And before we let you go, too, I want to ask you one last thing. You mentioned ancestral trauma. This is something that is absolutely fascinating to me that I'm still learning about. Can you kind of explain that really quickly? Because I don't think a lot of people understand what that is.
Yeah.
And you have about a minute.
Oh, this is juicy.
No pressure.
I can take a whole episode about this.
Yeah, we should bring you back, actually.
Yeah, so the research is...
Yeah, once you get your training done, you're coming back.
Yeah.
It's not even an option.
I'd love to. Ancestral trauma is just that trauma that's happened in the generations that have come before us that still live in our body, still live in our, literally, our DNA. There's a lot of emerging research that's showing that that's actual, like this part of my genetic code is where my mother's trauma lives, and this part is where my own trauma lives. Like it's down to that level of detail. But it can be historical traumas like residential boarding schools, the Holocaust, 9/11, things like that. And it can also just be what happened within our own family line, right? If you are living in America, you have ancestral trauma. That's just the end of it. Just the nature of the
part of the
country
deal,
that we occupy.
man.
Yeah. So that's in a very brief nutshell.
And we've covered it on a couple of other episodes, too. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because that's been one of my learnings, actually, just from the show, my own show. I learned so much. And that one I want to actually explore a little bit more because, to your point, we all have it.
We all have it.
So-
we all have it, yeah.
And-
And some of it's getting activated right now just with the political climate.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay sane right now, isn't it?
We like to talk about, touchy subjects on the show, and I get mad.
Well, that's why we started the Your Vote, Your Health right there. Right?
That's true. It was kind of born out of my anger.
And in case anyone can't tell, we focus primarily on progressive candidates.
We do.
Just so you know.
Admittedly. But I'm open-minded.
I will openly admit to that.
Thank you so much, Katherine, for coming on. And also, she is my fellow She-Wolf board member, so we like to howl together, and she was part of the M Factor event with Lori.
Incredible event.
Yeah, so we do some really cool community events here through the She-Wolf Project, and Katherine's a wonderful partner in that. So, yeah.
Good to be back. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks for coming
Katherine.
on. Let's have a hand. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Who's next? I don't know when to go off my list because it's probably
Now
wrong.
we have Sabrina Carlson. She is returning from episode 37. She is a sufferer of ankylosing spondylitis, which thanks to her, I now know how to spell
And I
correctly.
actually know how to say it properly now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sabrina and I go way back. We met when we were pregnant with our boys. I was pregnant with Van, and who's sitting here in the audience. Hello, son. And we were working out together. And she's now also my financial advisor. So, and came on the podcast. So, yes. See what I have all these people that I'm very connected with that come on the show.
You're the one who told me I needed to read The Body Electric.
Yes.
Which I have been taught. I read after that, and I've been talking about it constantly since I finished reading that book. I'm making Charlie read it right now. But yeah, if anyone wants to know about how the electrical system of the human body works, The Body Electric is an amazing book.
It's fascinating.
She turned me on to it.
Yeah. So Sabrina was one of our human stories about her ankylosing spondylitis. Can you tell people what the hell that even is?
Yes. I like to say ankylosing spondylitis is the most common disease that nobody's ever heard of. When I accidentally stumbled upon that diagnosis, because when I was in pain and seeking answers, I got a lot of medical gaslighting. I still do. It's sort of expected, unfortunately, at this point, when I go to the doctor, that I'm just going to be shrugged at. But when I first stumbled upon that name, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's all of my symptoms. It's exactly what's going on with me. And that must be really rare because I've never heard of it before. And that's a really weird name. It's not rare. It's way more common, actually, than MS and ALS combined.
Wow,
so Lou Gehrig's
really?
disease and yeah.
But nobody hears about it.
But nobody hears
You
about
never
it.
hear the name.
Yeah, it's just not something people talk about a lot. So it is a rheumatic condition. It's an autoimmune disease that attacks my joints. But of course, as all autoimmune diseases do, it can attack other systems of the body. But the primary pain that will develop is in the SI joint, and often you'll feel it kind of in like your gluteus muscle, so it feels like your butt sore, your low back hurts a bunch, maybe some sciatic pain down one or both sides, but it can also come with brain fog, fatigue, all those other really wonderful things that come along with autoimmune disease. So that's what it is, and like I mentioned, I unfortunately kind of accidentally diagnosed myself. I'd been seeking answers for quite some time.
This doesn't surprise me. People diagnose themselves all the time now.
Yeah, so I'd been seeking answers. I'd gone to, what do they call the bone doctor, the orthopedist, because that's like what one does when your back hurts. And they image things and they were like, it looks fine in there, like everything's good. You're probably just hysterical and, female and, whatever. Had some not pleasant experiences. But then, but no referral to rheumatologist, no hey, maybe this is the next step. And so it's just I don't know, good luck, try yoga. And I'm like, cool, I'm literally a certified yoga teacher, but thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yoga is wonderful. I do a lot of
is.
yoga myself.
Yes, no, yoga's great. So then stumbled upon it, found out that the rheumatologist was the correct doctor for that. Scheduled, but as folks might know, we have one rheumatologist in town. It takes about 8 months to get in for a first appointment.
Yeah, we have problems here.
Rural America.
Specialists.
Yeah, and that office is great. They're wonderful people there, but it's a long time. So I, being the impatient person that I was and feeling like I was on the verge of maybe not being able to function, started Googling, as we do, what can I do in the meantime, and stumbled upon something called the the Low Starch London AS diet or something. It was created by a rheumatologist in London at King's College, London, when he accidentally kind of discovered his AS patients that were put on ketogenic diets accidentally sort of got better on their with their ankylosing spondylitis, and it's the starch. So of course all autoimmune diseases relate to the gut, and then the particular gut bacteria that causes the pain or causes a lot of the inflammation feeds on starches, and there you go. So by the time I got to that first appointment, the doctor's like, well, you're definitely moving like someone with AS. That's probably what you have. Yeah, I think that's what you have. And then they sent me for blood work, and then by the time 3-4 more months goes by with all the testing, I came back in and my symptoms were largely resolved, not entirely, but
You're
largely.
like, I got this. I
And
figured
they're
it
like,
out.
well, should we start medication? I'm like, probably not. And they're like, okay, just keep coming back every 6 months and check your blood work. I'm like, sweet. Okay. So that's my story. And I'm sticking to
Nice.
it.
And
So-
you've mostly been able to manage through diet, right?
Yep.
Okay. And she's got a great Instagram page. You're so funny. I love your
thank you.
Instagram page.
Thank you. I don't
Yeah.
post on it that much just because I
Yeah.
did recently start a new business because it turns out stress and autoimmune disease are BFFs. So I left my very stressful corporate financial planning job to start my own business. By the way, I'm right upstairs from Dr. Perrin's office. Sorry about the
That's
noise.
right.
There you
Sorry
go.
about the dog running around upstairs sometimes. Because nothing's stressful about starting a business. But yeah, getting out of kind of a stressful thing and starting over. But yes, I do have a page called Ankylosaurus Adventures where I try to post a little bit about like having autoimmune disease and trying to live life and find joy even when you have pain and brain fog and some of the things that come along with it. A little bit of chronic illness humor, a little bit of hope core, a little bit of starch-free recipe
Yeah.
There you go.
inspiration.
But
So-
you feel good though?
Mostly, yeah. I mean, I'm not totally symptom-free,
Yeah.
but I feel pretty good, and I just continue to work on adjusting my life and trying to manage stress and work on the circadian rhythm and all that good stuff. To
And you do
keep
that
going.
mostly without medication, correct?
I take no rheumatic medications whatsoever. I don't take any anti-inflammatories. I don't
Amazing.
take any DMARDs or
Yeah.
biologics at all.
I mean,
There
you,
you
Gabby, like and I'm sure Dr. Casey has clients and probably Lori, Dr. Perrin.
Like Dr. Casey said, his goal is to give you as little bit of the drug
Right.
as
But it's
necessary. to
like
get to
these,
the-
it's like proof that you can really manage conditions without pharmaceuticals, without synthetics and things like that if you just make the right choices.
Yeah.
I mean, not always, right? Not always. I'm sure
Inspiration.
Katherine can speak to that,
Anyone
too.
with the whole AS thing going on,
Yeah.
it's crazy how common it is and how unknown it is at the
Yeah.
same time. So if you're suffering any sort of, symptoms like that, definitely check out. What episode were you again? 37. Episode 37 is your whole story. So check
There
that
we
out.
go.
But
Awesome.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Sabrina.
Back. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Congrats on the 100.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take that. Thank you.
All right, who's next, Jeremy?
That's a good question. Jake Pierce.
Oh, Jake,
Pierce.
the man, the myth.
This is
legend.
episode.
He's my husband.
Jake has a list. Episodes 36 and bonuses 10 and 13.
Well, I did-
Episode 36 and bonus 10 is Heather talking about Jake's thing.
I did a couple of episodes talking about Jake's,
Bonus 13
Whole
is Jake
thing.
himself was on the show.
and then I finally got him on the show to tell his story. So,
Jake fell off a roof and shattered his leg.
and survived.
I don't know why I'm up here. They have it.
Well,
That's it.
we're going to tease a future episode, but you started off there, Heather. What are we talking about here?
We're teasing?
Yeah, because he's coming on again.
Yeah. He's going to come back.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that. He knows that now. He's coming
finding
back.
out in real time right now.
Well, because he's going to have another surgery. So, August 28th of 2026, our entire lives changed.
I was an idiot and I walked off a roof.
Yep.
So
He's a professional painter. It happens.
Yeah, he was like Wile E. Coyote walking off the thing with the anvil.
And in your defense, you have fallen off like 4 or 5 roofs before and
Yes.
never suffered a major injury.
now I'm older.
You're usually good at falling off the roof.
Yep.
So tell everybody kind of the short retelling of the story and
Helping a friend out, and we're finishing up the job, and I took a wrong step off of a short roof, and I did a horrible break, and ended up in the hospital for a week, and now I'm still walking with a cane. I've broken screws. It hasn't been good, but I got to save my leg. So
yeah.
You have, 20-something screws in your leg, right?
28.
28 screws.
He's like titanium from like his right below his knee all the way down to his ankle.
Totally shattered his shin and his ankle.
Yeah, ankle.
But you're going to be having another surgery soon,
Yeah.
finally.
Yes, I still have 4 breaks, but I'm not wearing a boot because I got to keep my ankle moving. So it's work one day, take a day off, or whatever I can do. So when the 4 breaks heal, they're going to go in, take a plate out, a couple broken screws, and we go from there.
And you fell last August?
August
We're
28th.
like going on 10 months into this, huh?
He said it was
Yeah.
like a 2-year recovery.
Wow.
Yeah.
And ankle replacement at some point, likely. His ankle was completely destroyed, like just shattered. When we saw the x-rays, it was
Yeah,
just like little specks.
Yeah, I saw the X-ray. It looked
white that was
his
left.
ankle looked like a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Like there was no
Yeah.
bone definition at all. It was pretty horrifying.
Well,
And I just got a new cane and I just broke it. So I'm going through those now.
are you serious?
Yeah.
How
When
did
did you break
cane?
it?
That's just the bottom.
Oh, gosh.
Oh boy.
Well, he goes on job sites.
I have a cool cane at home I can throw you.
Yeah, I just bought this one. Like, look at all the cool stickers I
I've
put
had
on
my
it. You
own
guys, I
injuries.
put a lot of effort into this. Just saying, I go to a lot of concerts in
It is
order
well stickered.
to cover this. But yeah, so
It's the hippie stickers that are keeping me down.
they're bringing you joy, Jake.
No.
So third surgery probably in September, October. We haven't
Right.
scheduled it yet.
And a 4 to 6 week recovery from that,
Yeah.
which would be perfect for
Mm-hmm.
my being slow at work. And then we go from
Winter
there.
is slow for painters.
Then
here.
we'll go from there. And I was doing good before the 2 screws broke, so I think we'll be good.
Yeah, you were like feeling good. You're
didn't
like
have a
I'm
cane,
over
I
it.
was back to driving,
And
I
then
was
all of
doing
a
it.
sudden 2 of those screws broke and you
Yep.
now have pain every time you step kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it
Tough
is.
setbacks, man.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that titanium screws will break in that situation.
Apparently,
Like,
it's not uncommon.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I wish we had more time for Jake to retell his ketamine story from when he was in
Jump back to bonus 13.
the ER.
Worth it.
You guys got to listen to it. It is wild. I
Bonus
think,
episode
Katherine,
13.
he needs you for some integrative, or Dr.
There you
Casey,
go.
whoever, maybe Dr. Casey might be better. I don't know. He needs a little integration.
I can take more and go back to the
He might,
planet.
yeah. Yeah, there's some really weird shit that happened.
But I appreciate you coming up on the stage, Jake. I know you're not big on that sort of thing, but when
Thank you.
when you get your next surgery and come out of that, I'm going to make you come on the podcast
right.
again.
Okay.
We'll do it on ketamine.
Yeah,
There you
perfect.
go. We'll do it with some ketamine and Dr. Casey. How about that?
Right on. Thanks, guys.
All right, give him a hand, everybody.
Thanks, Jake. Careful, honey.
All right. Man, this is moving along. Next up, we got Korina Maestas, neurodivergent educator from episode 59.
Yay.
Yeah, we're moving our way along through our history here.
Korina is what we call you, the CEO and founder, of Kaibab Behavioral Services and Rising Mountain Academy, right?
You got it.
She's got some exciting news to share too, but let's get into the deets first. Can you tell everybody what you do, the wonderful work that she does here in Arizona?
Yes, I'm a board certified behavior analyst, so I provide early intervention for kids with autism and other disabilities. And I'll wait on the news, I guess.
Yeah.
My business is going almost a decade now. We serve 5 counties, all in northern Arizona. Part of my mission is to provide access to care to rural communities. So we serve kiddos and teens and actually adults in their homes and their kind of natural environments where they spend time. So school, grandma's house, community centers, really wherever they go. And then a few years ago, I had clients that were really struggling in the public school system. And my vision at that time was that the more moderate to severe kiddos with autism and other disabilities, we would serve them. But some really fun, spicy things have happened since then.
Yeah, for real. Oh, and by the way, too, I met her through Flagstaff Leadership Program, another fellow connection in my life. So
Class of 2019, next level.
Oh, that's right.
There you go.
That's a whole thing, you guys, if you're part of FLP.
My husband, Daniel, got me into FLP, and he's also an alum.
A
So
fellow FLP. We have a few FLP alum in the house tonight. Sabrina was in my class. I can't say our team name because it's got bad words in it.
FLP is Flagstaff Leadership
Program. Yes, the best leaders of Flagstaff.
Yep.
Go to FLP, and a bunch of them are in this room. So, Korina, you've been doing that work. I know you've had some challenges with insurance creating some challenges.
Yes.
Let's just, call that what it is.
That's why they'll never be on this program. those
Exactly.
insurance
It's
it's gotten
people.
worse since the
There is
episode
no
59.
There is
too.
no room for them here. What have you done to work around that? Like, how has business been in dealing with some of those challenges?
Yeah, 2025 was a year of growth for sure. Just trying to navigate, I call it winter season, where you spend that time trying to figure out what you're going to do with your business because you feel like you could lose it financially with everything going on. But now I look back and think, man, I'm really grateful, because without that experience, without the Medicaid cuts, I may not have learned what I learned. So how are we navigating it now? Exciting news, we're opening a clinic. That's really exciting. There's only one other ABA clinic in town, but I'm really passionate about it because I kind of did things a little bit backwards, where most ABA agencies will start in the clinic and then go in home. I did it the other way around, and really the only reason I'm opening one is out of need for our community here in Flagstaff. So, you know, and really providing a safe place for parents to be able to drop off their kids and know, all right, this feels really good. I know my kiddos are safe here. They're going to get the therapy that they need. So that's one way. And then another way really is just digging in and getting to know my business finances a little bit better. Being a clinician and starting a business is really hard. I am not, I don't have an MBA. I don't have any experience in business, and I had to truly learn the hard way. So
That, I think that's typical for most business owners, right?
Yeah.
You're really good at your craft, that specific trade, but running a business is a completely different animal.
totally.
That's why I'm still involved in my husband's company. Wow, he's so lucky.
That's why I produce the podcast, but Heather runs the company.
I'm really good at running businesses, so doing that sort of thing. Well, so Rising Mountain Academy is now in the Alpine, if anyone who's been here long enough, Alpine Preschool, where my son went to,
Yep.
is the location you're moving into.
Yes.
And when's the grand opening?
July 14th from
Oh, wow.
3 to 5, and we'd love for anybody in the community to come and join us. And if you want to even come and be a vendor and share about your own services, we'd love to have you.
July 14th is literally the day this episode comes out.
Oh, woohoo! Well, look at that. Awesome. Well, I'm excited for you and everything that you have going on. It's such a needed service here.
Thank you.
Like, I'm looking around the room and I'm like, there's people that you probably need to meet. That's what I love about this podcast, by the way, is that it's become like a network thing where I literally introduce people all the time. I'm like, you need to know that person. You also need to know that person. And you all need to talk and whatever.
That's why we
because-
need to do more roundtables.
Yeah, it's a beautiful web that we have created actually here on the Uprising. So anyway, now I'm like, I need to make some introductions for you, Korina.
Connecting dots.
I am,
It's,
yeah.
it's a network as much as it is a podcast at
Yeah.
this point. It really
It
kind of
is.
is.
Well, I will follow you to Harrington's.
Okay,
Okay.
come on over to Harrington.
After party at Harrington's, everybody.
Awesome,
Okay,
awesome. Korina,
Charlie's
thank you.
going like this, so
Yeah.
we're going to have to...
He's telling me I'm talking too much. I don't know. I don't do that. I do not do
All
that.
right, everybody, let's hear it for Korina.
Thanks,
Her-
Thank you so
Korina.
much for having me.
And congrats to you. Yeah.
Next up, we got, from episode 68, Mark Urick, Social Determinants of Health.
Yes. Mark, also a longtime friend of mine.
Sure.
I
Our
forget the name of your foundation, though. What was the
Health
name?
First.
Yeah, so I'm Mark Urick, the Executive Director of Health First
There
Foundation,
it is.
Northern Arizona.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, what we do is, in a nutshell, we give grants to organizations that are working in the community health space, social determinants of health. We operate only in the 5 counties of Northern Arizona. And so for those under the community health umbrella, housing, food, mental health, access to certain types of care, preventative work. We give our grants not exclusively to rural areas, but not surprisingly, that's where a lot of the need falls. So we have a grant cycle, and actually, I'm sending out the press release tomorrow for our awardees for this year, but if you want, we can break the news on your podcast.
I mean, the podcast doesn't drop till the 14th, so you can share. But we'll reinforce the message.
I love inside
So feel free to
information.
share. I would like to hear this is exciting. And you guys, if you're not familiar with his organization, they've been around for a really long time. Originally associated with Northern Arizona Healthcare, separated. You took over. They do amazing work for our community that often many of us don't know is happening. So anyway, I love what you do.
No, so each year our grants have had a theme. This is just my second grant cycle, but this year we decided to invite organizations that are working in the mental health, focusing on native mental health for elders and youth, or have programming focused in that direction. So we made these decisions last Thursday, and there we awarded $500,000 spread across 9 organizations.
Amazing.
Those organizations are Fort Defiance Indian Hospital Board,
Nice.
Native Americans for Community Action, NACA.
Oh, NACA.
United Way of Northern Arizona for the Teen Center out in Holbrook that they're involved with. Northern Arizona University. A couple of professors there are working in the autistic, native autism, families who have children with autism, excuse me. Boys and Girls Club of Flagstaff for the establishment of a Boys and Girls Club in Winslow that will open in the fall.
Oh, nice.
Brand new location?
They are going to be in the elementary school.
Okay.
So not their own building, but it's a start.
That's awesome.
That Winslow needs more of that stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Tinkertopia here in town. They're starting some native focused programming. Oh no. I lost it.
That's the worst.
Sorry. It's just right here. There it is. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Here we go. Oh, Stuck Community Acupuncture, just around the corner.
Oh, Knox is coming on the show.
Around the corner.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Are
I
they
just
coming
talked to her today.
Cool.
I dropped off a check. And then Wheel Fun, an organization that establishes after-school biking clubs through across the whole state, but they're working on establishing a couple in Apache County. Again, high native population, native focus. So those are our 9 winners, so to
Wow,
speak.
that's very cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's get a round of applause for
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's a lot
Thank
of
you.
community
Yeah.
work going on right
That's
there.
so great.
A lot of different
For
angles.
your second grant cycle, and by the way, 'cause when Mark joined Health First, he was like, "Hey Heather, you've been in healthcare for a long time." He's like, "Can I pick your brain a little bit?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Like I love the work that you guys do, and so it's really exciting to see where you've taken it in a pretty short amount of time. So,
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, and I spent, for a little context, I spent about 20 years working in higher ed in fundraising exclusively in athletics at 3 or 4 different universities. So when I came aboard here, I had no idea what community health was, what social determinants of health were, those types of things. So I've learned a lot in 18, 19
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
you just raised $500,000 that you're putting back into
That's
the community.
amazing.
So that's pretty freaking
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, we're in a fortunate position to be able to do that. So
Well, cool. Well, congrats, and congrats to all of you recipients, and thank you for the good work that you're doing here in Northern Arizona.
that's awesome.
happy.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming up.
Let's hear it for Mark, everyone.
All right.
Yeah, that's quick and easy. All right.
I think we have 2 more,
That's
right?
good work. I really like what that guy's doing right
Yeah.
there, man. I'm not
Do
going to
we-
lie.
Are we 2 more?
We got 2 more.
All right.
Next up, this is actually, we have worked with this guest before, but she has not actually appeared on the Healthcare Uprising. She's the only one today that hasn't. This is Dr. Laurie Perrin, our
Dr.
menopause expert.
Perrin. I feel like Dr. Perrin has been like a women's health celebrity here in Flagstaff. Like, do you not know who Dr. Perrin is? Although she did not deliver my child. Your colleague, Dr. Lindstrom, did, but he was in the same office at the time, and so of course I knew who you were.
We
So
have the same yoga teacher, actually.
Oh, do you?
We both go to Mo for our yoga.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
this is so Flagstaff,
Very
right?
Flagstaff
Half a
moments.
degree separation.
It is
for sure.
half a degree, right? So, Dr. Lori
at least kind of
Perrin.
know each other, right?
OBGYN, but I think it's important to mention, you are going into some new spaces here, becoming kind of a midlife women's health longevity specialist. Obviously, I'd mentioned we did the M-Factor screening together. Lori and I were partners in crime in that, and pulling off that screening, and then the panel that she put together was amazing. Oh my God,
really
you
fun.
guys. So amazing. We had like a panel of like 6 women. But so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here in Flagstaff. I don't want to spoil everything.
All right, so I've been in medicine for 30 years. I've been an OBGYN. Actually, my first job outside of residency was at Fort Defiance Indian Health Service.
There you go.
I had my kids on the res. and thinking I was going to go back to the East Coast, and I did a weekend trip in Flagstaff and fell in love. And I was like,
That happens.
this is where I'm supposed to be. It was very serendipitous. I ended up, kind of weird story, I forgot a piece of a breast pump that when I traveled, and I called the hospital to say, any chance you guys have this piece of a breast pump that I could use? And they said, we do. And I went up to the floor at Labor and Delivery, and there was a physician there, and we started talking, and at the end of the conversation, he offered me a job. And there you have it. A year
Also
later,
a very Flagstaff story.
he came to Flagstaff. It really was one of those, just everything kind of fell into place. So essentially in my early career, I really focused on pregnancy and general GYN. And about 10 to 15 years ago, mostly when my kids were entering their adolescence, I got board certified in pediatric and adolescent gynecology, and continued in my practice along those lines. And I turned 50. I'm currently 58, almost 59. And when I was turning 50, I thought, I got to figure out how to do this aging thing gracefully. Because at that point, we were still in the arena where we weren't really using menopausal hormone therapy. It was kind of out of vogue at that time. And so I started to search for things that we could do that would help us age gracefully and take care of ourselves without medication. And I stumbled upon lifestyle medicine, and so I did a bunch of research and a bunch of training, and I got boarded in lifestyle medicine, which is essentially using the 6 pillars of nutrition, movement, stress management, sleep, connection with others, and avoidance of risky substances, all to help navigate your life without medication, and also is used to both prevent and reverse chronic disease. And it's pretty amazing as people kind of focus in on all those pillars, you can actually prevent and reverse your chronic disease. So fast forward a couple years, I went to a menopause national meeting in Chicago in the fall of 2024, and lo and behold, there has been a tremendous amount of research and changes in that world. And as I started learning about that, I came back to Flagstaff and I was like, oh, nobody's doing this here. Nobody's even talking about it. And so I did my first talk, a seminar at Coconino Center for the Arts in November of 2024.
I was there. A couple of us here in the audience were
that
there.
one was a really full packed house, which was pretty amazing.
Yep.
And just really started the conversation in the community about menopausal health and longevity and aging, and how we can use both medical management, but also lifestyle management and alternative measures to help us navigate this midlife. And so that's really my focus. I started a business called Slow and Steady 360, which has everything from 2-week no sugar challenges to 6-month programs to help people get on board. Because I really believe it's all about habit forming, and you just have to kind of make the commitment and do the work. And it's not always, people don't always know where to get started, not to mention it can be incredibly overwhelming to wake up Monday morning and be like, I'm not going to eat any sugar, and I'm not going to drink alcohol, and I'm going to exercise every day, and I'm going to go to sleep at 8 o'clock, and by Friday, you're not doing any of it. So to me, that's the slow and steady part. You pick one habit, you bring it on for about 4 to 6 weeks, then you move into the next habit, and you build on that. So that's really where I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you're still practicing, though.
I'm practicing OB/GYN. I'm still delivering babies.
Still
I
catching
love
babies.
delivering babies. I've delivered some babies with people in this audience, which I love.
There you go.
And I'm even starting to deliver kids that I've delivered.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've really, to me, that's really, come full circle.
Wow.
That's when you know you've been in the same place for a while. It's like delivering a baby for someone you delivered to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love Flagstaff. I love our community. I love our town. I love everything we represent. I love this podcast. I just think that the work that everybody in this room is doing, I just feel honored to be part of the group.
Yeah, and we're going to come back. We're going to do our second event.
Yes.
So M Factor 2. So that's
September.
the other menopause. Yeah, we just started talking about dates for that yesterday.
Yeah, and you mentioned the panel. Just to briefly say, on the panel we had, it was myself, we had a pelvic floor therapist, we had an acupuncturist, a midwife, a psychologist,
And a nutritionist.
and a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great panel. And I think, to me, just so perfect for Flagstaff, because in any other panels I've seen online or friends I've talked to in other areas, they don't really have the alternative practitioners, and we need them. And
Yeah.
it's part of our process. And to not be open to that, I think, is doing everybody a disservice. So I feel really proud of the panel we put together.
Yeah, I do too.
So you're talking about doing screenings for the other movies. Is there going to be another M Factor screening that you're planning at all?
That's what we're talking
in
about.
We're talking
yeah,
about
Jeremy, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, the M Factor 2, which is
Jeremy's just
more-
finding out.
Well, no, I mean, there's the M Factor, then M Factor 2 is a different movie,
Yeah,
and
so
then
they're
the
both
pill movie.
documentaries, right? So the M Factor is a documentary focusing on menopause and really just bringing to light that menopause exists. Big blow. But the M Factor 2 is more focused on perimenopause.
Perry.
Okay.
So that stage that like 8 to 12 to 15 years prior to your final menstrual period,
Right. And then,
which is when all the craziness happens.
right.
We need to do a whole trilogy at some point.
Well, then there's going to be
all-day
the
event.
pink
And then we'll
pill.
do the pink pill, which is a documentary on a libido medication, like you mentioned,
Right.
called ADDY, ADDYI.
Yeah. So it'll be a three-parter.
Yeah.
So y'all,
A triptych.
a triptych,
There
exactly.
you go.
So Lori and I will
We're going to have
continue
to put
working
together
together.
an all-day event for all
Yeah.
three of them at some point is what we
We're going to
There
end
you
up with
go.
like an alternative women's health expo.
Perfect.
Oh, I do not need
Let's
more
do
work.
it.
Jake, my husband's sitting there
You
going,
said it out loud, now you got to
Heather
do
said
it.
she was stopping doing things, and now she's doing more things. She
He's-
comes
he's
up with
shaking his head
ideas
again.
all the time.
Speaking of which, I will put
I
a
can't help
plug in.
myself.
I'm putting together with some people in my office. I've asked to help put together a women's health fair that we're going to have up at Moonshot
Oh,
area,
nice.
up by
There you
Buffalo
go.
Park, and that's going to be August 22nd.
Oh, cool. All right, put it in your
We'll see it
calendars,
out there.
ladies.
Yeah, put it in your
22nd, everybody
calendars.
mark
It'll
it.
be a really great, there'll be speakers, there'll be lots of people from the community who have booths there,
Love
tons
it.
of vendors, tons of information. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks
Thanks,
for,
Dr. Larry Perrin,
yes,
menopause expert.
thanks for coming back. All right, and
And for our final guest of our 100th episode, we got Christine Weiss returning from bonus episode 15.
Christine,
Christine is
she
a
came,
CRPS survivor.
she came all the way up from Phoenix, you guys. So when I
She
found
was our
out,
farthest traveled.
she did, when I found out she was coming up, I was like, oh, well, you have to come up on the mic. That was not planned until like 2 days ago, but she has such the story pissed me off. I mean, I've listened to the episode, I listened to my own
There's
shows.
a lot of layers
I was very
to your
mad.
story.
Yeah,
Because
you've gotta-
it's your, your syndrome, but it's also the process that you had to go through in order to deal with it,
Yeah.
with the whole healthcare industry and everything.
So tell us kind of briefly what happened, what your diagnosis is, and then we'll give you some time to share a little bit about the atrocities of your healthcare experience.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Christine. In February of 2022, I was separating my puppy and my older dog, and the older dog barked. Her one tooth went right in between the knuckles, but it hit a nerve bundle, and it instantly caused swelling in my arm. Within 48 hours, I was in the hospital because my arm no longer looked like my arm. It looked like a wax arm. Myself and my husband are both nurses, so we took care of it. I did go to urgent care, but then I finally ended up going in. Ended up having just surgery to clean it out, and then when all my labs came back, I also had a PICC line, and when all my labs came back, they said there was no infection. There was nothing wrong, so I didn't have to go do that. But the numbness, the tingling, the nerve pain, not having any feeling in my arm remained consistent. About 3 weeks after the injury, I did start physical therapy. About a month after, the physical therapist actually said, hey, have you ever heard of CRPS, which is complex regional pain syndrome? And at the time, I had heard about it just one time. Brought it to the doctor. They said, well, we have to have a nerve conduction test done. They postponed it for a month, so when I went back to my next appointment, I said, hey, are we going to do the test, or what are we going to do? They said, well, it's the same treatment. You'd go to physical therapy whether or not you had nerve damage or not. And so that's when the drama started. It took me from May until October to finally be seen by a neurologist for the nerve conduction test, so there was no physical therapy or anything done at that time. And the syndrome consistently got worse, ended up traveling into my leg. I kept refusing not to take any pain medicine because of some trauma that I have I lost my brother. And then I've been a labor and delivery nurse for 18 years. So I kind of would relate my pain to delivering my daughter. And I did that naturally. And so the pain was just different. It just didn't go away. There was swelling, there was color changes, there was loss of hair on my limb, and it just got worse and worse. But I finally got to a pain doctor a year later. That doctor consistently tried to push things on me that were not the standard of care. Luckily, I have family in the medical industry as well, so we got the latest updated stuff, so I kept pushing back. Currently with a pain doctor that put me on a pain patch that actually has changed my life. So I am on a pain patch. And that, I think, brings it up to where I am now, I guess.
Well, and part of what I like about your story, I remember, is you overcome the pain through movement. You started roller skating.
I did.
Foxy Skater.
Yeah, Foxy Skater is her
Follow
screen
her on
name
TikTok.
online.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
And after talking to you, this is actually something that came up for me. I found a story online after we recorded your episode about a guy who has CRPS. And his he got the same thing. Like when the pain hit, he needed to like exercise, move, things like that. He ended up becoming the world record holder for the longest plank. The yoga plank, like you're on your toes and your elbows. Over 10 hours, this guy held the plank.
Yep.
And his whole inspiration for getting to that was having CRPS and dealing with the constant pain of it. Because his pain is bad. And like the plank, feel the plank. You know what? He feels the plank instead of the pain, and it's actually relieving on a certain level. The guy held a plank for 10 hours, guys. I have a hard time doing it for a minute. And I do it on a regular basis. Like, it's an impressive thing. And it was what you're suffering from inspired him to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's a pretty impressive thing. But you have some news too. We don't have a lot of time with everybody, and I want you to say this to everybody out there. You're thinking about starting your own podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I am thinking about starting my own podcast. It's mainly because through this whole process, actually, you said something out there about the ancestral stuff. There's been a lot of stuff I've had to work on that have come up about, my past and trauma and how we deal with everything. And so really, truly, I can't do what I did before as a labor and delivery nurse, but it's really brought on more conversations between other people. And so I've met people in the CRPS community that, fought their doctors. They didn't want to be in a wheelchair anymore. That's what my doctor kept telling me is, you have to do this, you're going to be in a wheelchair. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be in a wheelchair. So I want to do a podcast because I want to talk to other people, not just with CRPS, but I want to talk about grief. I want to talk about all things generationally that we learned, where we come from. Everybody has a story. I'd love to interview people of all ages that have had a baby. What was it like if you're 80 years old, what was it like for you? If you're 60, what was it like for you? Or how do you look at other people that are having babies now? That's just one part of my thing, but also CRPS.
As you were talking too about the grief part, and sorry to call my own husband out here, but after what he went through, no, there was a grief period in that. It's changed the course of our lives.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about that, right?
No.
You need to acknowledge it when you have a big accident like that, when your career maybe has changed.
Yeah.
The other thing too that I think is important about your story is the patient advocacy part, right? And I would say even Sabrina and the way that she fought for her health, and others sitting in this room that I know of. That is such an important part of healthcare today, is you have to fight. You got to fight for your right to party also, but little Beastie Boys.
That's what it's called, an uprising.
But you do, and advocacy has become more and more important, and no shade to doctors. Doctors are amazing, but the system has stretched them so thin that they can't give the time to their patients that they truly, truly want. And I know I'm looking at Dr. Perrin right now. And so there's that advocacy part of it that is important. And even what happened with you with the disability insurance and all the things that you kind of got screwed around on, guys, maddening. Listen to her episode. It will piss you off. I was
very angry after.
I wanted to scream, and I'm glad that you finally did get paid.
Yes.
But we pay for insurance so that we can help take care of ourselves when things like this happen, when that money doesn't show up. That's a major, major thing. Anyway,
bonus
advocacy.
Episode 15, again. Bonus episode 15 was your episode.
Yeah.
And when you do get your podcast off the ground, which we will help you with if we can,
Thank you.
we will have you back on.
Thank you.
This
Thank
episode's
you.
all about teasing future episodes. So
perfect.
we will have you
Right,
back
right.
on to talk about your
Yeah.
healthcare podcast once you have it going. How's that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it so
In the
much.
meantime, keep roller skating.
Oh, I will.
Foxy
I will.
skater.
No problem.
All right,
Thank
let's
you.
get a hand for Christine.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming up from Phoenix. All right, I think that's our
All
last
right,
guest.
what
yeah?
time is it right now, Heather?
We are doing really good on time at 7:21.
All right, yeah, we got a little bit. We have some time. Does anybody have any questions for Heather or I or for any of the guests tonight? I can come to you with a microphone. Anyone at all? No?
No, that's okay if you don't.
I guess we'll wrap it up. We'll get out of here early. Let's go to Harrington's and have some drinks.
Let's go have some beers.
All right, thanks everybody for coming. We really appreciate all the guests, and everyone who's in this room right now is a strong supporter of what's happening in this town and on this podcast. We appreciate every bit of it. Give yourselves a hand. Let's get out of here. 100 episodes.
Woohoo! We'll do this again for 200, right?
Maybe even 150.
I don't know. We've got a lot of stuff coming. All right, thanks
Thanks
everybody.
for coming, everybody.
This is
See you
awesome.
next time. Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.